Sorry, folks, had a little bit of a battery mishap there, but we are back. So, Cowboys Bucks Thursday night. That's kind of where we had left off. First things first. Dak Prescott, 42 of 58 for 403, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, you don't want him dropping back 58 times, but they were losing, later into that game. I mean, Dak coming off that injury looked all right. I mean, for real or not for real?
Right now, I'm going to go on the same trend that we were just talking about with Aaron Rodgers, is that not going to look too much into this one. Still the first week, but going forward, these are the kind of games he's going to have to win if he wants to be considered a top 5, top 10 quarterback, which he is not right now.
Right.
But I don't know. He throwing for 400 yards is Dak's memo right now. Throwing for 400 and losing is Dak's memo right now.
Throwing for 400 in garbage.
So obviously he needs a little bit of help from, I don't want to say his name, but I'm going to say it, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, I mean, Zeke got the bag, secured that a couple years ago, and has not been the same guy since. 11 carries, 33 yards in this one. And kind of before we lost it there, 3 yards a carry. I mean, this guy, is he 80 million guaranteed? Over 5 or 4? It's big anyway. Jerry Jones, the king of the boneheaded contracts, if you ask me. But the defense actually looked decent against Tampa. It looked okay, but there's no depth on that defense. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't do a heck of a lot. Leighton Vander Esch was quiet, right? But you're exactly right. These are the kind of games that they need to win. I mean, that's a conference game, right? NFC. I'm not a Dak guy, but he did look good. But one game does not determine a season. So, like you said, he throws for 400 quite often, but that's because they're down by 20 heading into the fourth quarter, right? So, again, not an ideal scenario for Dallas. I hate the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys, and I don't know why.
Either you love them or you hate them.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
I think, except for me, I'm in the middle of them. They're whatever for me. But yeah, they need to put together a total team effort.
Yeah, and it was there for the first, 55 minutes of that game. I think they look good, right? And they lost in the last second field goal, and that's life. But kind of moving over to the Tampa side of the ball, the ageless wonder, Mr. Tom Brady, also going for 379, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Dropped back 50 times, 32 of 50. I mean, when does it end for Tom? I mean, the guy looks as good as he did in his third year,
And all in the off season, he said, "The end is near." Is what I heard. I read an article that said it. He knows it's up pretty soon. So I think, judging by my experience, whenever you know you're probably going to be done right away, you have a little bit extra bit of zip to give before you retire. So
I agree.
Who knows if this is his last year? Very well could be.
Well, he signed a 2-year deal with Tampa, right?
Yeah.
So they committed to him. He committed to them. This is obviously the second year of that 2-year contract. Can Tampa run it back?
The only reason I say yes is because look at their team. Look who they have.
Yeah, it's like an all-star team, right?
When you give Tom Brady 2 of the top 10 receivers in the NFL, perhaps 3 of the arguably 3, and Rob Gronkowski, you never know.
They're gonna do some shit. They're gonna make some noise.
They will be there.
That being said, Tampa's running game, Fournette and Ronald Jones, each with a fumble in that game, and Fournette 32 yards, Ronald Jones 14. Something to worry about? Ball security? One off?
it's going to be the same thing with Fournette and Jones as it was with New England. Tom Brady will dink and dunk to his running backs, give them the ball when they need 3 or 4 yards. Tom Brady's running backs don't often break huge runs. That's not what they're designed to do.
That's true.
Everything is run through Tom Brady and what he wants to do. So he threw the ball 50. How many times?
50. Yeah.
He threw the ball 50 times. So I think Tom Brady is feeling okay.
So he threw it as many times as how old he is. He's what, 44?
Darn close, yeah.
44? Unreal. I mean, it's the GOAT. Gotta respect him. I mean, he just wins. He wins ball games, and those are the games that define Tom Brady. When you see him go shake the other quarterback's hand, he's always got that smirk on his face at the end of the game because he's always the winner. And I'm not a Brady guy. Like, I respect him. Guy's obviously good, but yeah, I mean, I think they can run it back. I really think they can. That's the first game for everybody, right? So
yeah, I was last year in the Super Bowl. Well, before the playoffs started, I was liking Tampa Bay, but when it actually came to the final game, it was very much a toss-up for me. There wasn't any. I wasn't feeling strongly one way or the other.
Yeah. I like their chances.
Due to a partially injured Patrick Mahomes, we can blame that a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. But one game I want to touch on just quick here, Reed, was the Bills-Steelers. Good football game. I don't know if you found it as shocking as I did that the Steelers managed to go into Buffalo and beat the Bills 23-16. I think Buffalo's second touchdown was kind of a garbage time touchdown, but I mean, there was lots of question marks for Pittsburgh heading into the season. I think Big Ben, he's 39 years old. We got a rookie running back. Chase Claypool, was that, kind of a rookie sensation moment? Is he going to repeat that? Can Juju be the number one guy? I mean, there's a lot up in the air. And the big question was their defense. Everyone said, their defense is regressing. It's not the steel curtain anymore as it once was. I think they proved opposite in this one. That defense, I mean, held Josh Allen to, kind of a mediocre day. He went, he threw 51 times, only 270 yards and touchdown. And I mean, there's a lot of MVP talk around Josh Allen. So, I mean, what does that say about Pittsburgh?
Anytime Pittsburgh Steelers win a football game, I'm not surprised.
Fair enough.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
But lately it's been getting off that train. But for me, anytime Pittsburgh wins, anytime you're playing the Steelers, it's not going to be a fun time.
That's true.
And once again, Jared Allen, still a little young, going up against Big Ben, a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
Been there, done it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think he wants to do it again.
Not that Josh looked bad, but he didn't go for 303 touchdowns, right? I mean, they played well. I mean, Steelers rookie running back Naji Harris, 16 totes for 45 yards. He only averaged 2.8. That's a tough Bills defense. Thoughts on him? He went high in the draft. What do you think?
I don't know a whole much about him. I know he went to Alabama, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's true.
They produced some football players.
They've been known to pump one or two out. Yeah.
Over the years, there's been a couple good running backs come out of there. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's all right.
Several others. Tua Tagovailoa, Miami quarterback. We'll talk about him later.
Yeah.
But the list goes on and on. You can look it up yourself.
So, Naji Harris, kind of a opening. That's a tough assignment for any running back, nonetheless. A rookie running back. I think he's got a bright future. You don't see running backs often go that high in the draft. So there was some eyebrows raised, I think, but with the departure of Connor, what do, right? So they ran out and drafted this guy. I like him. He's tough. I think he'll be good. He can pick up the blitz. But yeah, I think he'll be all right. Side note disclaimer, Big Ben Hall of Famer. Yes or no?
I think we'll have to have that discussion Wednesday or Friday, but
we can go a little more in depth then.
I'm not prepared to talk Hall of Fame right now. That's talk for another day.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Cards Titans. Let's move on to that one because I mean, I don't know about you, it surprised the heck out of me. I mean, the Titans were on the road in Arizona, which I mean is what it is. I don't think anyone's seen that one coming. 38-13. The Titans were never in this game. Arizona ran out to a big lead. Yeah, they were up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, and they were up 24-6 at the half. Tennessee was never in this game. Kyler Murray, 5 total touchdowns, 4 through the air for 289. Did throw a pick. Not that it really mattered. Kyler Murray. Let's start there. I'm not a Kyler guy either. I don't like Dak. I don't like Kyler. But they're both proving me wrong. Kyler Murray was mediocre last year. The fact he was the first overall pick, I think he gets his tires pumped a little more than the average guy. I don't know. What can he do? Can he take them to 11 wins? That's a tough division that they're in. Best division in football, if you ask me.
We got Seattle, Arizona, the Rams, and 49ers. Mm-hmm. Very tough division. We'll have to have that talk another day too. But yeah, he was. I expected Kyler to come out with a good game. I think they had a tough end to their season last year.
Sure too. Did. Yeah.
So, anytime you have a tough end of the year, you're coming out swinging.
I think he's got a lot of haters too. I mean, I'm one of them, but he's got a lot to prove. Being first overall, you know, I mean, he's small. So is Russell Wilson, but I think being small doesn't really matter. I think Russell Wilson dispelled that problem.
He has a couple running backs around him this year, so.
Let's flip over to Tennessee. The Titans. Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Titans, comes out today. Says Julio Jones takes a stupid 15-yarder late in the game and dumb things hurting the team. Now, they were down by 25 at that point when he took that penalty. Right or wrong, Vrabel calling out Julio as superstar after one game.
I don't know. I think when Julio's been with Atlanta for so long, he's coming over to Tennessee now. There was an adjustment period. He's played with Matt Ryan for so long. He's coming over playing with a new quarterback. Things aren't going to click right away.
Yeah.
They just aren't going to. So when you're jumping team to team, there's a learning curve and there's adjustments, but the talent is definitely there on the Titans. So I expect very similar to Green Bay, New Orleans.
Bounce back.
It's a week 1 shocker. Chalk it up as a bad game. We move on.
Full disclosure, I have the Tennessee Titans this year winning the Super Bowl. I made that pick about 3 weeks ago. Wild?
I wouldn't say wild.
I like them.
Not my pick, but I can't make a valid argument on why they shouldn't be there. They're playing in the AFC. They were just there 2 years ago. 2 years ago they were there.
Yeah.
Blew the lead to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Terrible game.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, they have. Vrabel's been there a long time now. From what I hear, players like him a lot.
Seems to be a good coach. Even when they didn't have a star-studded roster, he got a lot out of that team. And I like their chances, and I agree. I think it is a week 1 blunder, and they'll be back next week, and there should be no issues. So
I also have a feeling we're going to be talking about Ryan Tannehill's contract sometime this year.
Yeah, that might come up. Yeah. Yeah, he secured the bag and didn't play up to it again. I think it's a one-off. but we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? So, another one I want to touch on quick: Seahawks, Colts. Russell Wilson. I mean, he torched the Colts. Colts defense is terrible. But I mean, Russ is famous for this, right? He comes out, plays lights out like he's the unanimous MVP for the first eight weeks of the year. He went 18 and 23 for 254 and 4 touchdowns. Is this another Russ 8-week MVP campaign and he falls off? Or is Russ going to win the MVP this year finally and get some kudos? I mean, where are we with Russ?
I think Russell Wilson's still young enough where he's obviously becoming a little bit less mobile in the pocket, but he has a ton of weapons around him. So you have Russell Wilson with the running backs he has, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, arguably top 3 duo.
I would agree
top
with
3
that.
duo in the league, and
agree.
a defense that seems to always be very, very good.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I mean, they signed Jamal Adams to a big deal. He played well. He looked good. But so what do you think? Is Russ on? Is he finally going to win the MVP? Pending he stays healthy, of course.
He's been pretty good at staying healthy.
Yeah, it hasn't been a problem for him.
I don't know if I think the rest of his team has been a question mark on them staying healthy, but I don't see any reason why the Seahawks can't make it very far this year, and Russ can maybe get that on his resume too.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I like Russ. I'm a Russ fan. I'm pulling for him. You know, I hope he can maybe someday slay that dragon and actually win the MVP. So let's move over to which I think was a super underrated game. Chiefs-Browns. Chiefs eke this one out 33-29. Browns led the majority of this game and looked good doing it. They went into Kansas City, I think, and opened some eyes. I didn't expect the Browns really to fall apart this year, per se. But, I mean, we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs here, right? So, Browns, Baker went 21 of 28, pretty efficient, 321, 0 touchdowns, and a pick. That pick coming at the end of the game when he was getting sacked. Threw it up in the air, picked off, right? Pretty clean game from him, no touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's a dynamic duo, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, right? They accounted for 3 of the touchdowns. Landry ran the other one in. So, Browns win the AFC North. Pittsburgh.
I think they finished the same way as they did last year. They'll get in the playoffs. They'll be a 5-6-7 team. If I'm not mistaken, they were a 5-6 or 7 team last year.
Yeah, Baltimore won that division last year. No, Cleveland.
I can't remember.
I thought Cleveland won it last year.
They might have won it, but yeah, I expect them to get back to the playoffs this year. I don't know why not.
Yeah.
They have Odell Beckham relatively healthy as far as I'm concerned. He didn't play this game, but coming into this year, there's been some buzz that he's ready to go again. So I think he was out for COVID or illness or something this week. I don't think it was a big deal, but Jarvis Landry is back. He should be getting better also. Austin Hooper seems to be one of the more steady tight ends in the league. I don't know why he doesn't get talked about more, but
yeah, Njoku, who, I mean, this guy's been trying to get out of Cleveland for 2 years. He said he wants out, he wants a trade, he wants out. 3 receptions for 76 yards. Maybe he wants to stay. Maybe Baker is coming around and maybe he wants to stay. Dude's super athletic. I like him. I like Njoku, but they got weapons. Their defense looked good. Moving over to the Kansas City side of the ball, Obviously, Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things. What do you go? 27 to 36 for 337 and 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill had only one of those, but he racked up a clean 197. So Kansas City picking up where they left off. Just slow out of the gate. Is that why Cleveland got up, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. I think it just seems to me like Kansas City's still as hungry as ever.
I mean, the talent there. There's too much there, I think, for your average team. Yeah, you're not just going to go in there and beat Kansas City, right?
No.
You need a special teams play. You need turnovers. You need something, right? And underrated game though. KC come through at the end. That was one of the better games I watched this weekend. Minnesota, Cincinnati was also a good game. Went to overtime, but not much noteworthy there to talk about, honestly. So,
actually, I think, Tyreek Hill. I expected Tyreek Hill to fall off a little bit.
Did ya?
I don't know how a guy like him can stay so good for so long, the way he plays and how much he runs. I don't know how his body holds up the way it does, but
he never gets hit. Never
no,
gets hit hard.
No, because he just runs by everybody,
Exactly.
so he doesn't have to get hit.
And he always, after the catch, there's a juke, so he misses the big hit or whatever, right? So, I mean, he looked unreal. I mean, I don't think he gets a lot of love when we're talking about the top 3 receivers in the league. I mean, you have your standards, Devontae Adams,
Julio,
and I mean, Michael Thomas is up there usually, right? Tyreek is the real deal. There's not a bigger deep threat than that guy. Put the ball in his hands and watch magic happen, pretty much, right? So, I like Cleveland. I think they're going to take that division over Pittsburgh, over Cincy, over...
You think Cleveland will win the division?
I do.
I'll go Pittsburgh, and might have to bet something on this.
All right, I like the sounds of that. That sounds good. Last but not least, let's talk about the Rams-Bears Sunday Nighter. I mean, surprised the outcome? 20-point victory.
Surprisingly, I actually was surprised because I thought the Bears were going to come out strong. They have a quarterback issue in Chicago. They have 3 quarterbacks, and they don't know who's going to play. You got Nick Foles, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton. I believe Andy Dalton started this game. He did. Played most of the game. Very average performance, to say the least. Fields came in after, but when the damage was already done. So
he come in for what? He dropped back twice, 2 for 10 yards. So he did virtually nothing.
Andy Dalton. I don't know. You got Nick. I don't know. Nick Foles must not be healthy because I thought Nick Foles would be playing, but I don't know. I don't know why Andy keeps getting all these chances. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what Andy Dalton has done to. And I think he thinks he. Well, I read some quote where he said it's his team and it's my time, but I don't know what Andy's done to warrant that talk. But
Andy's time is come and gone when he made multiple first-round exits with the Bengals, and they would win 13 games in the regular season and lose out in the first round every year, right? I mean, Andy Dalton should not take another snap this year for Chicago, in my opinion. But I think the real problem here lies with the coach, Matt Nagy. He runs an inept offense that can't score any points. I mean, it's rare when the Bears put up over 24. It's rare. And they got a good team. They got David Montgomery. They got Allen Robinson. They got Cole Kmet. They got Darnell Mooney. So I think the Bears need to look a little higher than just the quarterback position. And I think Matt Nagy needs to go. He's had a fair shake in Chicago. This is his 4th year.
Matt Nagy's been there 4 years already.
Yeah.
Seems like a rookie. I remember when he just got there. Yeah, I don't know. If it's always very tough to tell what the problem is with teams, if it's the coach or there's so many dynamics that go into a football team that you never can pinpoint it. But I don't know how you expect to win games at this point. Andy Dalton's career, I don't know how you expect to be a above 500 team with Andy Dalton. But I don't hate the guy. I just don't like him as a quarterback.
Well, and I think Andy Dalton keeps getting his shots because he'll play for $3 million, right? Whereas
Also
a lot of guys
true.
won't. So, I mean, yeah, if I'm Matt Nagy next week, I'm rolling with Justin Fields. He's playing. I mean, we
Fields are. I don't know if Foles is there still, but
he is. He wasn't dressed, so I assume he's hurt. But he was on the sideline, not dressed. But you drafted this kid.
yeah.
Let's see what he can do, right? I think New England is on the right path with Mac Jones. This is our guy, and they took him 15th, right? They took Justin Fields 4 or 5, I believe. So
The way of the rookie is changing so much. I remember the days where you draft a rookie quarterback and they sit for a year
at least,
automatically.
Yeah.
You're on the bench. You learn from
look at Aaron Rodgers.
and Brett Favre.
He sat for 4 years.
Yeah. So I don't know why so many teams stray from that idea now. But we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 rookie quarterbacks play yesterday. 5.
And
What's going on?
And one started. One is the starter.
Yeah.
And never took an
I
NFL
don't
snap
get it.
of football.
I don't. Well, even Mac Jones, I can see because there really isn't anybody. But I don't know what happened to the quarterback sitting for a year rule. I don't know what happened to that, but I don't know. I guess there's no other options right now.
Well, and who else did New England draft when Tom was still there? They drafted another young guy.
Pardon me.
Who was the other quarterback in New England?
Stidham.
Yeah, the one you bet me would start.
Yeah.
And did. He's still there, right?
I believe he's the backup.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't
No, the Brian Hoyer's the backup.
So where's Stidham?
I don't know
Third
where
string?
Stidham is.
Practice squad maybe.
He's working elsewhere.
So I mean, I know there's a lot more politics that go into these decisions and whatever else, but after that, I mean, the Rams are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, this is your season opener, and 34-14. The Bears are never in this one either.
Yeah. Well,
Matt Stafford looked good, real good.
he's looked good before, but he looks good now in a different uniform.
At least he's got a team surrounding him. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to pick on your Lions, but they wasted a good 12 years of that guy's career.
It's not mean when it's true.
Honesty hurts sometimes, but not in this case. Rams, tough division.
Yeah.
Where are they finishing?
I'm still not. I like the Rams receivers a lot. Cooper Kupp's very good. Robert Woods is very good.
Very good, I agree.
Which will in turn make Stafford good as well. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, it is.
But
It really is.
Stafford has played with good receivers before. Calvin Johnson.
Golden
Not
Tate.
bad. But he's never played with the depth as he will with the Rams. So
And they have a defense, right?
they have a defense also, which yeah, good defense, good receivers, and Matt Stafford. It should.
If that
I would say they're guaranteed playoff team.
if this game is any indication, I like them to win the NFC West. It's going to come down to them in Seattle. I don't think San Fran, no matter who San Fran trots out as their starting QB, whether it's Trey Lance or Jimmy G or whoever it might be, I don't think San Fran can run with either Seattle or LA.
No, I still like the Cardinals. Kyler's gonna have to keep up his pace if they want to compete. That's all. But yeah, I would agree with you that very well could be the best division in football.
Oh,
We'll have to wait, and we won't know that. We won't know who the best team is till the end of the year.
That's true.
I think I'm pretty confident saying that.
That is true. We will not know that until the end of the year. I agree. That's something we can't argue about. So, quarterback play, I mean, obviously, is the topic of the weekend. Let's talk about those rookie quarterbacks. Mac Jones, let's start there.
Mac Jones drafted 15th overall. last year, first round. Boy, I believe he was the fifth quarterback taken.
Yes.
Fourth or fifth quarterback taken, which surprised a few people, but never really know. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot. He's another Alabama guy. Don't know, but he's going to the Patriots with a system in place that can probably help him.
Patriots lose to Miami yesterday. 1 point game. Naji Harris with the fumble late in the game seals the deal for Miami. That division, I mean, Buffalo's got to be the favorite. New England, we're kind of in a rebuild mode. Are they overhyped coming into the season?
Well, I don't think they're overhyped because I don't really think there's any hype at all with the Patriots. Fairly so, rookie quarterback. I don't think the expectations are always there in New England, but I don't know what Bill is like in the locker room, what he expects, but I don't know how in his right mind he can expect the Patriots to compete in any way this year.
It's a Patriot way.
Yeah, but you have a rookie. Nobody takes the field and expects to lose, but nobody's expected the Patriots to be good this year, me included. So
yeah,
let's go to Trevor Lawrence, number 1 draft pick last year.
Didn't look like it.
No, he played very well. But once again,
3 picks.
We were with Gardner Minshew being traded. There's no real doubt that he was going to play this year, but I still thought maybe they would roll with Minshew for a bit, start him, see what happens. But once again, the way of the rookie quarterbacks taking the bench, I think that's going out the door.
Clearly,
we had Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Lawrence, Lance, Zach Wilson. It's 5 rookie quarterbacks. I don't think that's happened before.
So looking at Trevor, he threw the ball 52 times,
52 times.
Dropped back 52 times. You got Urban Meyer, who probably would love to be back in Ohio State right now, because Jacksonville looked terrible. Houston went out there and just throttled them. And, I mean, Houston's over-under win total is at 4 for the year. Nobody expects anything out of Houston this year. Granted, Tyrod Taylor looked pretty good. So 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's in for a long season. Jacksonville is still, in my opinion, full rebuild mode. And if you draft a rookie quarterback, I think you are in rebuild mode. That's just the way it is. So I like Trevor, but I don't think he's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
The only guy I can really... Nick Foles is the only guy out there who I think is worth getting, but we've already tried that in Jacksonville, and that didn't work, so...
It didn't pan out quite that well.
So I don't know if they can still they can still push the pedal on the brakes, though, if they want.
That's
I don't
true.
know if they will, but there's no saying. This goes for all 5 of these teams. They don't have to start the rookie quarterbacks right away.
That's true.
I think they will. They don't have to, though, but never too late to press the brake, to slam on the brakes for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Which I think will probably... It's tough to say, but these coaches know a little bit more than I do, so I trust their opinion.
I trust everyone's opinion but Matt Nagy's. I don't trust his opinion.
Yeah. We also had, speaking of rookies, we had a couple of rookie wide receivers making noise out of the gates. Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle both got a touchdown. Waddle's with Miami. Chase is with Cincinnati. Once again, I didn't expect those guys to really start out too hot.
Well, Jamar Chase, I mean, I think it was a week ago he come out in his interview and said the NFL ball is hard to see because it doesn't have the white stripes on the end of the ball. That's why he had so many drops in the preseason. Well, red flags go up there, I would think immediately, but I think he proved everybody wrong. He looked good. Kid's got crazy speed. He's tall. I mean, there's a reason they took him 5th or 6th overall, right? So, I mean, he's got skill. I like him. I like him. Kind of back to the. Oh, go ahead.
Both in very good situations too. both joining young teams. It's not like you're entering. Not that if you get drafted to go play with Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, you're probably not going to get the ball right away.
Right.
So
build trust. Yeah.
They're in a situation where they're going to be in most of the action right away, which is
Chase, Burrow, both LSU guys, right?
Yep.
They didn't even get a year off apart from each other, and they're back, right?
But once again, it's only week 1. We'll take another glance at it after 3 or 4 weeks and see
for sure.
And see how it evens out.
Zach Wilson, Jets, thoughts?
I didn't watch much of that game.
Sam Darnold got his revenge, but
Zach's in a tough spot.
I agree.
Yet perhaps the most what's the word I'm looking for? Unenviable? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Unenviable spot in the league, which I think is pretty safe to say.
The Jets are a joke. I don't. I feel bad for the guy. He got sacked 6 or 7 times, I believe, and he's not the biggest frame on the field. So if he can stay healthy, I think it'll be a miracle. But he looked good for the limited, glimmers he had. I thought he was all right. I didn't know anything about the kid, but I liked how he looked. And Trey Lance, Jimmy G do enough in that game to hold the starting job. 3 for 314, no touchdowns. He had a fumble.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that too, I think. I'm not too sure what to... There's been so much stuff around the 49ers, I don't know what to think. So...
Trey Lance.
It's going to be the same all year. We're going to talk about this every week.
Yeah. Trey Lance, North Dakota State. Same place Carson Wentz. I don't know. They're a good team, but they don't play those big powerhouse teams like Ohio State and Alabama. And so I'm not a believer in any of the guys from NDSU, but hey, maybe this guy will prove me wrong. When Wentz was healthy, he was in the MVP conversation at one point, right? So, anything can happen. I'm not a believer, and but we'll see. Shifting gears over to MLB, I just want to touch on the Jays this weekend. They played Baltimore 3 times, put up 44 runs in 24 hours. They played a doubleheader, and then they played them again on Sunday. 11 in both doubleheader games and 22 on Sunday. Jays. Let's move over there just quick.
I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to jinx it.
The way you feel good about it.
But yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah, they look good. I don't think anyone really expected this coming out of them.
Late season win streaks are good.
Yeah.
Late season win streaks are good. Vladdy, 44 home runs.
Tied with Ohtani right now.
Leads the league with Shohei.
Young guys, their bullpen, their rotation looks good. I didn't see it coming. I just want to throw some shout out to the Jays. Their bats are on fire.
Keep it up.
They look good. Scherzer, you want to touch on that?
Max Scherzer joins the 3,000 strikeout club. Only 19 pitchers have done it. The 19th guy.
Bravo, Max. Bravo. Impressive.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame discussion eventually, but I don't know. I still think he has a couple of years left in him too, so I see him getting into the top 10, I would say.
Yeah. Right on.
Yep.
And last but not least, I just want to touch on a little bit of local. We got the Wheatland Football League opening this weekend. Your Holy Rosary Raiders play the Lloyd Comp Barons at Holy Rosary on Friday. I believe kickoff's at 7. Raiders had a good preseason, 2-0. Look good. Comp was 0-2 in their preseason, but they lost a big piece this year with their quarterback, and they got a rookie in there, I believe, this year. So, I don't know. I'm going to take the Raiders. I'm a little biased on this one. I got a player on the Raiders, so I know you're a Comp guy, but I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. It's a tight game. They always play each other hard. So, good luck to both squads. Anything you want to close with?
No, I think we'll see going forward how often we want to do this, but I think maybe as time goes on, we'll mix in some games, or we'll add another segment to the show where we add something else to it and see what we can do to pep things up a bit.
For sure. No, I think it was a good start. Yeah, like Reed said, come back. We'll be back Wednesday, same time, hopefully, pending schedules. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and yeah, keep watching those sports and keep tuning in. Thanks for being here.